really seen many people talk about when you have a friend or a family member who is an artist. What are the best ways to really help them feel supported? I think the obvious one is buy their art, right? But we don't have infinite money and your artist friend will be an artist for a lot of their life. You can't be buying their artwork all the time. I mean, you could. You could. No, I'm kidding. I'm telling jokes. Or am I? What are some ways that you can really show up for them and make them feel loved and supported as the artist that they are? Some of my favorite ways that are completely free to help your artist friend feel supported by you. And I'm also going to include a couple things that have happened to me in my life that I didn't feel the most supported by, and I knew the intention was support. I wanted this to be the kind of video that you can discreetly send to a friend or family member and be like, hey, just slipping this on in here. Just so that, you know, the intention here is to help your artist friend feel supported, and you want to make sure that lands, right? But I think that there are a couple blind spots that can happen sometimes for friends or family members of artists where you think that you're supporting, but it might come across as not that. So let's just get into it. And I'm gonna start real basic here because some people be missing the basics. My favorite way to help an artist feel supported is to ask them directly, how are things going? Like, how's your art business been lately? How was that art market you went to? To be verbal about noticing the things that they're doing, to just show some genuine curiosity for them in their life. I know that this is something that happens to me sometimes where friends or family members, it almost seems like they have either forgotten that I'm an artist and to check in with me about that, or they might feel this subliminal artists never make money, so I don't want to bring it up and then have an awkward moment whenever they say it's not going well. You know, I think that that can be the mindset of some people. I don't want to ask them about their art business because what if they say it's going bad and then it's awkward and not feeling good. And you know what? Maybe we need to address what to do if that happens. Right before we get into the video, I wanted to invite you into something really super cool called the Small Joys Club. The Small Joys Club. The Small Joys Club is a really cool thing where I mail you an art print and a letter every single month to celebrate the small joys in life. And I don't know, I just think you would really like it. Who am I to say what you would like? But also, I think you'd like this one. It's a really affordable way to collect art prints, make your home feel a little bit more like you, a little bit more joyful, and I also include journal prompts for self-reflection in the larger letter tier. If you are talking to your artist friend and you check in with them and they say, actually, it's not going good at all, and I'm feeling pretty helpless and hopeless. Sometimes you will have those days. I think the reason why some people might avoid this question is because they might not be the most comfortable with the emotions that might happen after if it's not it's going great and then you like go on with your day kind of thing. And so what I recommend doing if your artist friend is having a tough time is just to be there for them. You don't have to fix anything. You just have to let them know that you still believe in them, that while it is hard, it is worthwhile, it is fulfilling, because the way that it is for artists, and if you're watching this as a non-artist trying to learn how to support their artist friend, something that might be important for you to know is regardless if sales are happening, this is from my experience at least, regardless if sales are happening, I will not be happy if I'm not practicing art. Sometimes it's easy to feel caught up in trying to understand why they're making the choices they are, right? For non-creative people, pursuing this lifestyle can feel extremely risky, and it can be hard to understand why someone would want to uproot their life this way or create this instability for themselves. It might feel like you're protecting them in a way by trying to talk them down from doing something fulfilling for them. But what you need to understand is it's in us, like it's rooted in our soul to need to make artwork. And while you may choose a safe life for yourself, some of us want to choose challenge, want to choose fulfillment, and you don't have to understand exactly why they're doing this in order to just be someone for them to lean on. It can be easy to want to avoid this conversation with your artist friend and to say, well, I just don't want to get into that conversation because it might just feel too heavy for me, and that's fair. Like, it's good to know yourself and to know that that might just not be a topic you want to get into, and so be selective about the times when you bring that up or ask. But I'm telling you, it really will help them feel supported, because for me, when people ask how my art business is going, it makes it feel real to me. It's not just something that lives in my head, because as an artist, before you take the step to make it real for yourself, and by real I mean in person, like starting to do the work, you think about it. all day, all the time. I'll be at my day job thinking about, geez, I wish I was an artist. Oh my gosh, what if I made this painting? You'll be doodling in the margins of everything that you're writing on. You're an artist. You are, before you start showing up as one, right? And because you live in your head for so long, like, oh, I'm an artist and I'm thinking about it all the time, but I'm not showing up as that. When people start to acknowledge that verbally around you, it feels real then. And that is such a powerful thing, something so powerful that you can offer your artist friend, because you are something outside of themselves, bringing it into the world, like talking about it, making it real with that conversation. How's your art business going? Now it feels real in front of you, right? It feels kind of like, for instance, when I was at an art market one time, I'm very used to talking about my own artwork, right? But there was this one time, two people were looking at my booth at the same time. I will remember this forever, it feels like. I feel like it was the first time I ever saw someone talk about my work without me in the conversation, if that makes sense. I was not someone they were talking to. These two people were looking at this one painting, and this girl was flipping through a book. Another girl was to her left looking at the same painting on the side. And so she flips through the book and she's like, oh my gosh, I really like this one. And the girl turns over to the other girl. She's like, oh, it's called Breathing. And she like points to the title in the corner. And just that small interaction of my artwork existing in the world independent of my involvement, it felt so powerful and so real that this exists without me making it happen. It just started to grow. It felt like growth. And so when you are the initiator of these conversations, like, hey, how are things going? Like, that is you continuing to breathe this idea of them being an artist into the universe and making that real for them. That's why it's so important to me. I'm really curious if you're an artist watching this, if you resonate at all. So definitely let me know in the comments. But in my experience, I have always felt so loved. I remember one time I got a phone call from my mom, and she, for the first time in my life, asked me directly, hey, how is art business going lately? And I was just like, it made me feel so happy. It made me feel like, oh my gosh, you see me as an artist. You want to engage with your artist friend in a way that makes them feel like, oh my gosh, you see me as an artist. You take this seriously about me. Because a lot of people will see pursuing art like a phase or something that you'll try and then it won't work out. Or sometimes it feels like people's own limiting beliefs about what they believe is possible for them or others in the world gets projected onto you. And that's what we're trying to avoid. We want your artist friend to feel like you see them, you take this seriously, you believe in them when they don't believe in themselves. Like, that is the best part about being able to show up for an artist friend, is you can show them, I believe in you even when you don't believe in yourself. Another one of my favorite ways to support your artist friend is to talk about their art with your friends, to share their art when it resonates with you. One time I had my sister share my Pride collection to her story on Instagram, and I think that people might really realize how important word of mouth is, because I can talk about my art all day, right? But it feels so different coming from a different person. When my sister did that for me, it literally directly led me to having a sale on my website. So supporting your artist friend doesn't always look like purchasing your artwork yourself, although that is a major way to support. It also extends to getting the word out about their artwork to other people, being proud of them and their efforts. I think as much genuine curiosity and excitement you can channel towards your artist friend will go such a long way. It would be the absolute best, because I know sometimes for me as an artist, I can feel a little bit awkward sometimes trying to talk about like all of my excitement for my art stuff with my friends or family, because I don't, for some reason, I feel like it comes across a little conceited, because it feels like I'm talking about myself, when in reality I'm talking about my job, but my job is myself, kind of. So it's this weird area where I feel like if I were to talk about my day job, it doesn't come across as me trying to make everything about me, but if I talk about how excited I am about my art series, how excited I am for this art market, or how proud I am of myself that I made X amount of money at the last art market, like when I talk about those things, sometimes it can feel like I don't want to be taken a certain way, like I'm just all about me, because that's not what this is. Like, when you're pursuing art, it feels, I don't know how to describe the feeling. It kind of feels like, I guess like for me, waking up very excited on Christmas morning. It's like that every day when you get to experience something that validates for you that this is a possible lifestyle for you, that I can be a working artist. That is the most exciting thing. And whenever you can make it clear to your artist friends that this is a safe space for you to brag about your artwork, to shout your wins from the rooftops, that is going to really help your artist friend feel welcome in your space. Now let's talk a little bit about things that might happen that you might intend to be supportive, but that might not be taken the right way. And I don't say this in any sort of way. I'm saying this with love, okay? If anyone is watching this and they have done these things, like, know that I say this with love. No hard feelings if this has happened. This is just a moment for us to chat and have the real talk right now, all right? So sometimes what happens is people will offer me unsolicited advice, and let me tell you why that's not very helpful and can come across as doesn't make me feel supported. And I know the intention is to help, so I just want to clear that up. Like, I know the intention is to help, so let me show you how to actually have that intention shine through better. When I often tell people I'm an artist, I get this all the time, almost every second of my day. For, like, each person who finds out will say this question to me. Are you ready for it? So are you on Etsy? Oh, you should try Etsy. Oh my gosh, why does everyone want me to try Etsy? Let me tell you something. I tried Etsy at 16 years old. That was the first time that I tried it. You want to know why? Because it was the first thing that I thought of. And at this point, having done this for a good 10 years, and like I've rebranded 2 years ago, so you might hear me oscillate between 10 and 2, but I've been selling my artwork since 2016. I have been thinking about this career since 2016, and I have been on top of it with educating myself and with putting in the effort and all of this stuff. And so if you have the urge to share unsolicited advice about what they should do with their art business, or have you tried like one of those things, notice how it's the first thing that comes to your mind. It probably is the first to come to theirs too. I promise you. I promise you. I'm really not trying to make light of this. I really do appreciate like that you're thinking of me. That is very kind of you. That's very awesome. Thank you for that. But I want you to understand how this can sometimes come across a little wrong. For me, and I'm not trying to read into it too much, in some ways it makes me feel a little bit like you don't see the effort I'm putting in already. And it's impossible for you to see all the effort that I'm putting in, right? I know that's an unrealistic thing to expect. But if you were curious first, like we talked about earlier, then this is what can really help your advice when you do have it landing very well or being taken badly by the artist. Because the goal is always to help your artist feel supported, right? Chances are your artist friend will reach a point in their life where they are looking for advice, that they have educated themselves enough that now they know the right path for them, and now they're actively seeking advice, and I promise they will come to you when that time comes. But I really don't find offering advice in the first place to be helpful. I could be wrong. I invite you to let me know in the comments if I'm wrong. Sometimes embarking on a journey like this means facing rejection for a long time, even by those closest to you, the people that like don't believe that you can do this, but they just kind of keep it to themselves. We can feel your energy. I want you to know we can feel your energy. But all good, all fun and games, right? And so that is why it's just so important to keep an open mind and to show up with curiosity for your artist friend. This journey is going to be really up and down. There are going to be days when I believe in myself 110%, and there are going to be days when I wonder if I can do it. In those lower moments, we are going to lean on our support group. I remember when I was very, very early on in my journey, I had just quit my 9-to-5, and I was laying on the floor of my fiance's room and with some Lay's potato chips, and I was just like, I don't know if I can do this. I am so stressed, I'm so overwhelmed, I don't know if I can do this. And I would just feel like I'm in this spiral, I'm in this like darkness, and I'm like, oh no, have I made a huge mistake? And my fiance was a really good rock for me, and he was always just like, you can do this, you got this. And so you, as the artist friend, you are not in the middle of it. You're not in the emotional throes of what it takes to really build an art career. And so the artist that you're friends with will really, really benefit from being able to lean on you when they are questioning if they can do this or not. For you to be able to show up for them and be like, girl, man, person, human, you got this. You know, that the kind of support that we show in our community is really, really valuable. It can feel like the safe option to believe they can't do this, because then you're protecting them from the risk they're taking. You're protecting them from feeling the disappointment if they fail. But it's not your choice to decide if they're going to fail or not. You just have to be there for them at every step of the way, and to say, I'm here as a sounding board for you to talk things through with, to brainstorm stuff with. I'm here for you, you know? And that exists in listening more than it exists in giving advice. Because when you are a good listener, and when you are a good person to look at them and their life with curiosity, they will naturally want to come to you for advice. It's those people that we feel like understand us, who see us, who know everything that we've been trying. Those are the people whose advice we'll probably value most, right? Even this morning, I texted, or last night / this morning, I texted one of my sisters a question about like art sales and stuff, because she had recently collected a painting from me, and I was doing some research on how to get into galleries, and I noticed that they take like 40 to 60% of your money. What? I mean, I knew that, but until I looked at the numbers of what my art cost versus what I would be making, it did not add up. Like, I would not want to accept like $40 or $50 for my watercolor paintings, and that's what I would be resorting to if I worked with a gallery. And so I asked her, if the painting you just bought, like, if that was like $230 instead of $150, would you have still bought it? Like, is that still worth it to you? And she had some really, really valuable feedback. She said because she was so in love with that particular painting, yes, it would have been worth it to her. But there were a couple other paintings she was looking at that if those prices were raised, it would no longer be of interest for her to collect. And the reason why I was able to go seek that advice and take that advice was because she had already demonstrated for me that she is a listener, that she knows my life, right? But I've had other people in my life, oh my gosh, and I say this with love, just know that they have sent me job applications, like to art-related jobs, and I'm just like, I don't understand. Like, you see how that can be invalidating, right? But when all is said and done, but I just say this for the sake of transparency, because at the end of the day, when you want your artist friend to feel supported and loved, it comes in being a good listener to them, and it comes in showing curiosity for them in their life. If you can buy their art, that's awesome, that's cool, that's great. But if you can't, ask them questions about their life, check in with them, share their work to your stories if you can, like, get the word out. I hope that this video brings you a little bit more love, light, and understanding, and I'm curious to know your story too. Like, our friends and family can have good intentions, right? They can really want to help us feel supported, but can sometimes just go about it in a way where it doesn't land. And so the goal of this video is to really help educate you so that you can have your good intentions land the way that you want them to. I'm really curious to hear your stories about, you know, times whenever you have or have not felt supported by the people around you, and what you wish would have happened instead. Like, let's just start an open conversation about it, because that's how we get farther in life, right? Is by listening to each other, talking, all that fun stuff. As always, spending any amount of time here on this channel with me is a gift. I really do consider it a gift, and for that, this humble artist says thank you.
So I want to say, because you asked me what we're going to do today, I want to stop by the Trader Joe's just so you can finally have your pumpkin bread.
It's okay, I have a vanilla bean.
Oh, you're getting your pumpkin one because it's going to make you happy.
I wanted a cinnamon broom.
Oh, sorry, cinnamon, yes.
I wanted a cinnamon broom, and then we went to the grocery store, and I smelled cinnamon. I saw a bunch of brooms. I put 2 and 2 together, and I grabbed a broom. I brought it home. It said vanilla.
Kroger will suing you for false advertisement.
They didn't advertise it wrong. I connected between 2 incorrect dots.
So they purposely, against you,
Yeah.
the victim,
Yes, I'm a
sprayed cinnamon around it and then slapped a vanilla label on it.
You know what? My lawyer makes some good points, I think.
I cannot give legal advice.